Welcome back to another explainer. Today, we're taking a really close look at the most hardworking muscle in your entire body. We are going to explore a rhythm that literally never stops, not even for a single second. In fact, this whole life-sustaining sequence of events actually happens in a fraction of a second. We're talking about the complete anatomy of a single heartbeat, lasting exactly 0.8 seconds.
Right, so let's dive into this by asking a foundational question. Can you name the three main phases of a single heartbeat that occur in less than 1 second? It's honestly this fascinating biological choreography, and knowing these phases intimately is absolutely essential for understanding human physiology.
Okay, here's our roadmap for today. We've got 1, the 0.8-second rhythm, 2, step 1, atrial systole, 3, step 2, ventricular systole, 4, step 3, joint diastole, and 5, the cardiac timeshare.
Starting off with section 1, the 0.8-second rhythm. To truly understand the cardiac cycle, you've kind of got to think of the heart as a highly coordinated pump. And it's controlled by this really elegant electrical system that starts at the SA node and travels all the way down to the Purkinje fibers. But to understand this pump, you need to lock in two key states. You have systole, which means contraction, and diastole, which means relaxation. Basically, your heart operates in this continuous alternating sequence of work and rest. So if we look at the clock for those 0.8 seconds, let's quickly preview the 3 simple steps we're going to explore chronologically. Step 1, atrial systole. Step 2, ventricular systole. And step 3, joint diastole. These 3 steps right here make up the entire story of a single heartbeat. Moving into step 1, atrial systole.
This first phase is incredibly brief. We are talking 0.1 seconds. In literally the blink of an eye, the heart just kicks off the cycle.
So, during this super rapid phase, the top chambers of your heart, the atria, contract. And their job here is really just to squeeze that very last bit of blood down into the ventricles below. Think of it less like a massive heave and more like a fast, sharp tap just to finish filling up those main pumping chambers before the real heavy lifting begins.
Which brings us to step 2, ventricular systole. Now this is the power move of the heart. Ventricular systole lasts slightly longer, dominating the clock for 0.3 seconds as those main pumping chambers take center stage. As the ventricles start contracting, the internal pressure within them rises really, really sharply. This pressure spike marks the big push. This is the exact moment where blood is forcibly expelled from the heart, sent out to your lungs to get oxygenated, and pushed out to the rest of your body to keep you alive and moving. It's a huge deal. And because that pressure rises so sharply, the tricuspid and bicuspid valves snap shut to prevent blood from flowing backwards. Now here is your magic key for exams. That physical closing produces the very first heart sound, famously known as lub. You're not actually hearing the muscle squeeze, you're hearing those valves locking shut.
Let's look at step 3, joint diastole.
After that massive power move, we kind of need to slow things down. Take a relaxing breath here because this is actually the longest phase of the entire cardiac cycle, clocking in at 0.4 seconds. That is fully half of the cycle devoted entirely to this one phase.
During joint diastole, the entire heart, so both the atria and the ventricles, is in a state of complete relaxation. It's basically taking a tiny nap to recharge. This is a passive filling phase where blood just flows naturally back from the veins. And honestly, this is the secret to how your heart can beat billions of times over your life without ever fatiguing. It literally sleeps on the job.
And finally, section 5, the cardiac timeshare. When you add up the chronological clock, the distribution is pretty striking. 0.1 plus 0.3 plus 0.4 equals exactly 0.8 seconds. This means your heart spends exactly 50% of its time working and 50% of its time resting. And an electrocardiogram, or ECG, perfectly tracks these exact electrical changes, which is a completely fascinating topic that we're definitely going to cover in a future explainer. To wrap things up today, keep these key takeaways in mind. That famous lub sound, that is the physical shutting of your tricuspid and bicuspid valves. And just as your heart dedicates half of its cycle to diastolic rest, remember the importance of managing your own rest, sleep, and nutrition as exams approach. Keep an eye out for our next explainer too, where we'll see exactly how this entire cycle changes during exercise and how to calculate cardiac output. Before you go, consider the math of your own life right now.
If a single cycle takes exactly 0.8 seconds to complete, how many times will your heart beat in exactly 1 minute? And, how many times has it beaten since you started watching this? Drop your answers in the comments below. Thank you so much for exploring with me today, and keep wondering.